Hi everybody, you're very welcome back to Grow Up Gardening. Today we're talking about tomato plants again. It's now the middle of June and we've a lovely display of tomatoes growing in this tunnel. Jacob and I have both been very busy watering and feeding these plants over the past few weeks. When watering your tomato plants, it's quite important that you try and do this in the morning where possible. Tomato plants like plenty of water, but they don't like to dry out and they don't like excess amounts of water, too much water. So if you can water fairly regular and do it in the mornings will ensure that any excess water you might give them will have dried off during the day. Putting them to bed at night with a wet bed, they do not like that because that can lead to problems with disease and other issues down the road. So it's best that you put them to a nice dry bed and water them in the morning. I'm sure you don't like going to a wet bed at night. So if you can keep them fairly well watered each day, and then about once a week when the flowers start to form, we have 50, 60, 70 flowers now in every plant, but it is very important that you add some liquid tomato food. This one's called Tomerite, and add this to the water according to the directions on the back. It's usually measured per capfuls per so many litres in a watering can. So we're going to mix this and we're going to get busy feeding our tomato plants. What are you doing, Jacob?
I'm turning on this.
What's that?
A switch.
That's the valve of the tap where we turn on to let the water come through. That's a big 2-inch pipe, a very large pipe.
I've got it on very, very, very far.
Yes, so that's fully open. So that means we'll have to control the flow of the water from the end of the hose pipe.
We have it on very far.
There's a cucumber plant.
Yeah.
Do you know what we need to do first? We put a little bit of water in the watering can, and then we put in 2 capfuls because we read the back of the tomato food, and it says to use so much water per capful. So this is like special diluted juice for your tomatoes. So we have a bit of water. We have a drop of water in the bottom of the can. This ensures that the diluted juice doesn't sort of stick to the bottom of the can, and then we turn on our lance. You want to hold the lance, Jacob? We put it on good and heavy and we mix it through, fill the watering can, and we turn it off again. Give it a wee mix with a stir, and then that's that. A few people have asked in previous videos, they have seen this stuff, they have wondered what it is. And this here is actually fleece. Isn't that right, Jacob? What's this used for?
For covering tunnels.
It's for covering the plants in the tunnels, isn't it? And we don't need this anymore, but this is like a warm blanket, so on a cold night we will use this to protect our tomato plants from any cold weather. So we'll drape this over the plants. We don't use it now because it's the middle of June, but we would have used this back in April and May when there were some cold nights. And this ensures our plants do not get cold and they do not have any problems. So we're going to go now and feed all our tomato plants. So here we have these cherry tomatoes, and another couple of weeks when you come into this tunnel and these fruit start to ripen, it'll be like picking your own sweets. Cherry tomatoes are very sweet. Some other things in the tunnel are beginning to ripen. We have blueberries and we have strawberries. We're growing fruit in particular like strawberries and blackberries and blueberries, for example. Birds is usually the biggest problem and pest for eating all the ripened fruit. However, something that's great to see is Jacob, and he will go through the tunnel and he will devour anything that's ripe as soon as he can see it. So the likes of the strawberries and the blueberries he is eating nearly as quickly as they come off the plant. But we are getting a few for ourselves, so I encourage you to grow a few bits of fruit or soft fruit if you can, and encourage your children to learn where soft fruit comes from, the likes of strawberries. What have you found? Oh dear, did it fall off? Well, do you know what we'll have to do with that? We'll have to take that up to the house and ripen it. But it's best to leave the green tomatoes on the plant. And if they ripen on the plant, they're much, much sweeter.
No,
But it'll still be very nice if we ripen it in the house.
yeah, it'll still be very nice.
So that fell off by accident. Jacob, what have you found here?
A blueberry washes
Are you going to show everybody how to pick blueberries? Where do blueberries grow from?
From shrubs and the plants.
Blueberries grow from plants.
Blueberries, which is down's not ready.
Which one's not ready?
This one,
What colour is that one?
green.
And the one that is ready, how do you know it's ready?
This one,
And how do you know that's ready?
this one ready. This one, this
Which one's that?
this one.
Oh yeah, that looks ready.
Is this one?
Yes, nice and blue and purple, isn't it? You want to try it to see?
Is this one?
I think, Jacob, we better leave some for later.